Cancer, what is going on? I hope you are doing well. So, we have a full moon in Leo coming up on February 1st. So, this is confidence, courage, communication, and being unapologetic, right? So, I want to see what's going on with you in the romantic department during this full moon. Always remember to take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. If you find nothing resonating, check out your other sign placements. And I hope you're doing well. All right, what do we have for Cancer, please? Full moon in Leo. Ooh. Ooh. So, all right, Cancer, starting off, we have you're currently Four Pentacles. So, you're holding up some boundaries currently when it comes to the romantic department. Okay, you're holding back. Um, you may have met your limits because the challenge is the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is, looking ahead, right? Taking a step forward. And it looks like you're having trouble stepping forward. You're having trouble manifesting, moving forward. It's, Three of Wands can be about waiting for your ships to come in. I don't see you waiting for your ships to come in. It looks more like because of your current energy of the Four of Pentacles, you're definitely holding back and you're not ready to take a step forward when it comes to romance. So the main issue of this is the Six of Pentacles. So you may have found yourself caught up in a lot of relationships that were not balanced, right? It may have always been you putting the effort in, you providing the resources, you helping out doing things, and your partner not really putting any effort in. Okay. So this is why I think you're now at a point where you're like, I'm holding back. I don't get any reciprocity, right? So it makes sense for you to feel like that in the current, or in the current moment, to hold back, and the challenges going forward because of your past relationships, right? You weren't feeling like anything was coming back to you. Okay? And I get it. Makes total sense. So in the recent past, you have the Nine of Pentacles. You are very much in the recent past felt very. Nine of Pentacles is a very much single energy. It's self-sufficient. You probably felt, because of the root of all this being the Six of Pentacles, you probably felt, well, why do I need anybody else? If I can do it all, and I'm self-sufficient. I know how to do the laundry. I know how to do the shopping. I know how to do the cooking. I know how to pay the bills and how to make the money. If you felt self-sufficient, right, then what did you need anybody else for? Right? You can take care of yourself. You know how to do everything. So I think your mind was, well, why do I need anybody else? Right? They're just adding extra to my plate, extra responsibilities, because they don't want to step in and help. Makes perfect sense. So your higher self is telling you, look, you got the Knight of Swords. Your higher self is telling you to actually be fearless, right? Try to get yourself more motivated. Just, I think it's, just because you've had bad experiences in the past and you've felt more single in relationships, they're saying change your mindset a little bit, help get you out of this rut, this funk that you're feeling in. Maybe, be more direct with people that you meet, romantic partners that, you could find yourself maybe wanting to date. Maybe it's being honest about, hey, what are you bringing to the table? Rather than getting into the relationship and not having that direct conversation of what is it they can bring to the table. You know what you can bring, and you can have that conversation. I don't think you need to prove anything, but maybe it's more being direct, right? Getting yourself more motivated to feel a little more fearless about moving forward because of the challenges of you feeling the confidence in romantic possibilities. You don't feel so confident with it because of your past experiences, but it makes total sense. So it's now, your higher self is like, let's try to assert ourselves, right? Let's try to be more motivated. Let's try to be more direct in our conversations when we are meeting people, or if, you're currently in a relationship where you don't feel like your partner's putting in the effort. So your immediate future, you have the Star. So, this is very much healing and having hope, right? Feeling inspired. So I get this feeling with the Star in the near future, with it being a major, it almost gives me a sense that you might be meeting somebody where maybe it does inspire you and restore that faith in relationships is the feeling I'm getting. So, your thoughts, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Well, there's another major. So this is positive changes. This is, time moves forward, right? So even though you may have had some bad experiences, it doesn't mean that's your final destination. Okay, that's why your higher self is telling you, hey, let's get ambitious. Let's move forward. Let's have these direct conversations. Let's think positively, right? You can close out the old thought pattern, right? That can be an old cycle of thought pattern because of what you dealt with in the past. So something's, I feel, coming up that's going to be very positive and restore your faith, right? You may have been wishing upon a star to find somebody who can meet you halfway, right? with the Six of Pentacles can, show up like you do. And I think that is going to change the cycle for you. You're going to feel very much like maybe your wishes can come true, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. So your outside influences, these, people around you, you have the Six of Wands. So I feel like you have positive people around you. That are successful. And I feel like they see you as somebody who can be successful, right? In relationships. Because they see, the folks around you know you best. So they see what kind of person you are. They know you're going to show up to the table. They know you're self-sufficient. You're going to put in what it takes on your half of the relationship. Okay, so that's good. It looks like you have positive people around you that I feel like they probably even praise you and say, God, Cancer, you're going to make somebody a great, better half. I get that feeling because of you being Nine of Pentacles, always self-sufficient. Granted, I know you're holding back. Don't get me wrong. I get that. You've had some bad apples you've come across, and I get it. Even I can understand that. I'm very much the same way. I've had bad experiences. I know what I can bring to the table too. And I won't accept any less. And I feel maybe that's kind of your energy, is you don't want to accept anything less than somebody putting in their half. Totally understandable. So the hopes and fears, you've got the Devil. Yeah, you, I think, are afraid, that you're still going to come across people that might be codependent on you because you are so self-sufficient, right? It's almost as if broken bird syndrome, In Cancer, you do have it. You are the mother of the zodiac, so you do. You like to help, right? You like to step in and do things for people, but, you don't want to overdo it to where people become codependent, and fall back on what they should be bringing to the table into this relationship. And I totally get that. The problem with the hopes and fears with that card is the potential outcome in the future is the Five of Pentacles. It's like, I feel like you would be quick to jump ship, right? I feel like you'd be the type that is, that's going to peel out, right? The first bad sign, you're going to peel out. And that's because you're going into relationships with that mental, negativity, going into the shadow, automatically assuming the shadow. So I think right now Spirit's like, hey, let's get a little more positive. Not everybody is going to be like your past. But I think enough to where if you see the flags and you start to see somebody not pulling their weight, I think the good thing is you're at a point to where, you wouldn't hesitate to abandon it. You wouldn't hesitate to leave it behind, which is a good thing. But I think Spirit's like, just be careful of having too much negativity going in to these situations, because if that's your mind thought, that can be very well something you manifest in, and they don't want you to do that. They want you to have, the hope and the inspiration and the positive, aiming for the star, right? That star path, your star person that is going to take you into victory, because your outside influences seem to think that you're the type of person where you should have no problem finding anybody. I think, again, it's just making sure they're not going to be codependent on you. Okay, cool. Let me clarify. I think I want to clarify the star. Let's get a little more on the star, please. Four Swords. Page of Cups. Two of Cups. Yeah. So after a break from, sorry, my little shawl here shedding. It's creating little flyaways. After a period of you taking a break, right, from the dating scene and romance, you're going to find yourself starting to, with the Page of Cups, to feel your, heart open up a little bit after taking a break. So, and that's, the stars, like I said, is healing. So after a period of rest from coming out of whatever this was, whoever this was, you taking that break, because that's what we should all do when we come out of relationships, is to take that healthy little distant break. You're going to start to feel yourself, your heart starting to want to open back up again. Because, you do want love. You just want somebody to be fair. You want somebody to pull their weight. You want somebody to give you the emotion you give them, right? It's everything needs to be 50-50. And Two of Cups, you're going to find, like I said, somebody coming into your life, somebody that's going to show up that is going to match the partnership you're looking for, like I had suspicion with the star, because I do feel that you are wishing upon a star, and you do want somebody to come in. You just want them to match you, even though you still have a fear, and I get it, right? You're still a little touchy, but the good news is that you won't hesitate to get out of a situation quickly if it doesn't seem to match your expectations. Okay. Do I want to... Let's go here. Let's go to this. What's in here real quick? In the Love Oracle for Cancer. Text message. Okay. Oops. Okay. So In February, we will be having a Mercury retrograde. Now, it won't start until really towards the end of February, but you're going to have the pre-shadow that's roughly, a week to week and a half before it. And I believe that Mercury retrograde is like, I think the 17th of February. So really, and February is not like it's a couple days shorter than most of the other months. Be mindful that somebody that you walked away from or they walked away from you, they're going to reach out to you. Okay. It could be a text message. Okay. Sure. Text message doesn't have to be. It could be an email. Could be a phone call. But most people text, right? So there is going to be a text message coming in from somebody that either, like I said, you ghosted or they ghosted you. And, Spirit's like, be mindful of the signs. And I want to say the signs and synchronicities are going to tell you whether that is this person coming in. So it could be somebody from your past. Okay. I'm seeing 222, which is about balance. It's about Two of Cups, right? Having the same feelings. So I don't know which way that runs, if it was you that ghosted somebody or if they ghosted you. But Mercury retrograde's going to bring somebody coming back. And that could very well be maybe somebody you took a break from. Okay, because the Four of Swords is a resting period. All right. So I don't know who that is to you. Let's go over here and let's get some signs for Cancer to maybe narrow it down a little bit. Okay, we've got Scorpio, Libra, Taurus. Well, that landed kind of funky. Oh, Virgo. Okay. Those are the possible signs of people that could be coming back. So let's get you an angel number. Let's get an angel number, please, for Cancer. Okay, well, actually, there we go. Confidence. Yeah, remember I said that's what this full moon is about. Courage, confidence, communication, and unapologetic, being you, unapologetic. 909. Things are moving and you need to make a decision. Act with confidence and take risks. So it looks like you, with this person coming back into your life, I'm getting you have somebody coming back, and I'm also getting that there's somebody, new that you might want to open up to. You've got a decision to make. And that's where it's, take some risks. Remember I said here, your higher self, the Knight of Swords. That was about being daring, being direct, being assertive, being motivated to have the conversation. So, maybe it's time to have a conversation with this person about the fact that maybe there wasn't any balance and there needs to be in order to move forward in a partnership, right? Of the same feelings and getting out of the fear cycles. Okay. All right. Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Love and light, and obviously always working on your shadow. If anything resonated, hit the like button, drop a comment, share, subscribe, and until the next one, I'll see you soon.